Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. Stitchin with Sue here to do another machine embroidery project. Now this project is another free design and it is obtained from Creative Kiwi. I've been using a lot of her designs lately, so let me share with you what it is. Look, it's a little pocket. Let me reach around here to put money or whatever for the tooth fairy, and it has this real nice pocket. Here's the back, here's the front again, all done in the hoop. I put a little hanging cord on there and I thought it was super cute, and it's big. It's done in the 5x7 hoop, so it's big. Now they do also have the 4x4 size, so if your machine is limited to 4x4, don't worry, you can stitch this too. Now one word I have to, well, a few words I have to say is this was my third attempt. I don't know, it's just one of those days. So I'm being brave and I'm going to do a video for you. Not saying how it's going to turn out. Of course, if it doesn't turn out, you won't be seeing it. So if you're seeing this, then you know it worked. I don't know. I'm just, you have one of those off days. Today's it. So if you're brand new to the channel, thanks so much for joining us. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you being here as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this is a quick stitch, 13 minutes, and it's 5,823 stitches. But for some reason, Stitchin with Sue is having an off day. So let's do a placement stitch. And I'm not sure if my needle came out. No, I think it's still there. My thread out of my needle, that means. So it's going to do a placement stitch where you are then going to put your fleece, because you want to have a little bit of body to it. And I'm using 2 layers of wash away stabilizer. It's the mesh type stabilizer, not the paper one. I guess I don't know, do they even have a paper one? I don't really know. I don't even know. And I see that probably hitting something here. What am I hitting? Oh, I have the microphone on. So the microphone is, I know it's helpful for all of you, but it's the pain in the schnookies for me. But I want you to be able to hear me. Okay, so we're going to put our batting down. And the clip for the microphone, I don't know where it went, so I'm using a binder clip to kind of hold on to my shirt. So, any imperfections or issues that arise, I'm making a disclaimer that this is almost like live TV, folks. And I know I mentioned, speaking of that, I mentioned about doing a live on Facebook. Oh, it's hitting the hoop. But I don't know, I'm just not ready for that. And I still want to do the rope bowl. I have a lot of things on my list that I want to do. You sometimes can't do them all. I have my business with Stampin' Up! As well, where I'm an independent demonstrator with them, and I'm trying to do classes, trying to bring back my classes again with them. And, well, I do my best. All right, I'm going to take this out of the machine, and I have to trim all around the batting. Oh, which I already goofed up on one part already, but I'm supposed to put my little hanger tag. I'm telling you, see, I'm just whatever. So I'm going to trim around this. The first tooth fairy, it's a tooth fairy hanger, pillow, I don't know what you want to call it. I tried to do in a fleece, and oh my goodness, that was disaster. Although I did kind of save it, and I thought, I didn't know if I could maybe try to rescue it with using my sewing machine, but it was just way too thick with the thickness to be stitching through, and it was bunching up, and it wasn't good. But hey, This is how we learn. So this is a free design from Kreative Kiwi. From what I understand, she came up with this idea, and I say she, I don't know, I'm assuming Kreative Kiwi is a she, but they came up with this idea of this tooth because there's actually a tooth fairy that you can stitch, and I guess people were stitching the tooth fairy and they wanted to have a tooth to hang with the tooth fairy. So if that's something you think you'd want to do, a tooth fairy, by all means. Okay, so I have this. Now this is sparkle ribbon. Kind of not, well, I guess you'd call it a ribbon. It's from Stampin' Up. I could put a link down below, although I'm not sure if it's still available. It may have retired. And I'm going to put this should have been done before, but y'all know, not having a good day. All right, this should have been put on here before, but let me bring you over here. Let me take you for a ride. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to put some tape down like so. Okay, put that there, and also I'm going to put another piece up here to kind of hold it in place. Now let me think what I did next. Told you. Okay, I'm going to put the front on, the front piece. So I just have some white fabric in my stasheroni. I'm going to put the white right there. I'm going to tape it down. Okay. Well, it's kind of long here. Let me find my scissors. Oh, here they are. So sorry. I guess if I use them the proper way. Oh, before I do this, I have to do something else. Okay, let me get a marker. All right. So do you see these these stitch lines? You want to elongate them. So just take that stitch line and just use a marker to go all the way to the end. Same on the other side. Okay. Again, a Stampin' Up marker. Because I share my craft space with my Stampin' Up. So you see what I did here? I extended the line. That's so you'd be able to see, you know, later on. All right, now I'm going to go and put the back part of the fabric on. And I know this one's going to be too big as well, but better be big than not enough. So this is going to be the back fabric, and this fabric doesn't really have a right or wrong side, but if your fabric does, you want to put the wrong side out. So the wrong side will be looking at you, because this is going to be the back. All right, where's my tape? Let's share some of this. This was one of the issues I had when I was stitching, was I didn't put down the corners, which I don't normally, but for some reason when I flipped it over, I'm looking for the rest of my tape. Here's a piece here. When I flipped it over, the corners had flipped over, and it was stitching through part of the flip over, so I had to pull all that out. Ugh, telling you, hot mess. All right, so this is going to be, let me take this off. This is going to be the front. Then what you want to do is you want to take another piece. Now they give you all the dimensions in the instructions. A long piece with a fold at the top. They tell you to iron. Did Sue iron? No. And where that line is on each side, the fold line is going to go on that line. So being, you know, I'm very generous here with my fabric. I just didn't want to cut any more fabric where I had to measure it. I was tired of that. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to line it up with the top of that line. And of course, there goes my dog. And let me go over to the other side. And I'm just going to kind of fold this back a little bit just to see where I'm at here. Okay, that's good. Flip that back, put that there. Kind of flatten it out like I'm ironing it. Funny, right? Okay, so we're good to go. So we got the front, the back, all facing up, and then this folded piece with a little, that's going to make the pocket. All right, let me go back to the machine. Let me get this in here. Let me take a peek. Okay, looks good. Let me move you all back over again. Hopefully you're not dizzy. Okay, so now what it's going to do is it's going to stitch around. But let me fix you so that I can kind of keep an eye on everything. Because the biggest fear is it's going to catch on the pocket or something. I mean, something's going to go wrong today. So let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to keep my finger near the green button because if I need to stop, oh, so far so good. If I need to stop it, I'm ready. Bee's ready. I hope I didn't put my pocket. No, I didn't put it too high. It has to go over that little humpy there where that little, oh, I got a little crease there. See if I can work that out until it comes back around again. It's going to do a nice cover over stitch, so I shouldn't be too concerned with that. Creative Kiwi does make a real nice satin stitch around it. That's what takes the most with this. And then does that little, almost looks like a braiding on it. All right, that's it for that. Let me see how I did. Let me get situated in my chair. Yay, success. All right, let's go back over to the table. Okay, so now what we have to do, well, what I have to do, you all can just sit back and relax and keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the back. I'm going to cut all around it because like we're almost done. I mean, if you wanted to personalize these, now you would have to do all of that before you even begin. So keep that in mind. If you wanted to personalize, I would do the personalization and, you know, then set it up to do the tooth itself. So if you don't know it, if you're new here, welcome. I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I always want to tell the date because you don't know when you'll be watching this. So today is June 8th. It's Thursday, 2023. Like I said, depending on when you're watching. And we're experiencing some very poor air quality. And here comes my dog, and she was just out, so there's no reason why she should be coming up here moaning, which is what she does when she wants something. Aurora. So I have to keep an eye on her. Not that she's going to do anything in the house, but sometimes she likes to get into things, even though she's an older lady. All right, so there's that. But anyhow, we are experiencing very poor quality air. What do you call it? Air quality, I guess air quality. Very poor air quality. I'm going to take my little rolly brush and pick up all those extra doodads. All right, now this, you want to be careful when you're cutting because you don't want to cut that. So see, by me putting that piece of tape there, it's, you know, I would have to cut through the tape because I did that with the first one too. So I'm going to trim around because the next part of this, okay, Sue, don't talk, focus. Okay, good, I didn't cut it. The next part of this is just going around the entire tooth with your decorative edge, and then you're done. So if I didn't say, which I don't remember if I did or not, so now this is a little thicker because you're going through a couple layers. you're using water soluble stabilizer. So I like to use the mesh stabilizer when I'm doing this, and I'll show you at the end why. And speaking of that, I use a aqua painter or aqua pen, however you want to refer to it. I'm going to flip it around this way. And I had mentioned it, you know, on previous videos when I'm using water soluble stabilizer. And a few of you have already contacted me and placed orders for them. Now they wonder, you know, someone's contact, they said, you know, where do you get that at? And then I had somebody else contact, where do you get that at? So I added it into the last video I did. I'm not doing a good job because I'm talking. And I'll put it down below as well. And if anyone's interested, you get a set of 3. They come with 3 different types of... Oh, I'm doing a horrible job. Let me cut this. Then remind me what I was talking about. Because I'm not doing a good job. I need to pay more attention. I could go back and, you know, go through it a little better. But, all right, let me get rid of that biggest amount. Okay, see, I don't like that. I need to go a little closer. Okay, so now I could chat. Comes with 3 brush type. They almost look like a marker, but it has a reservoir in it, and the cap screws off. Now, keep in mind too, I can only imagine where they're made, but the cap doesn't screw on and off like normal caps do. It goes the opposite direction. So if you're frustrated because you can't get the cap off to add the water to the water brush, turn it the other way. And even though I know that, every time I go to fill it with water, I still try to turn it the wrong way. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I gotta go the other way. I don't know. Got my clear plastic water stabilizer. I'm still not happy, although the outline stitch really is very generous. So you don't have to worry too much, but you know me, I worry. All right, let me get all of that off there. And these little roller brushes, you can get them from, and I refer to it now at the $1.25 store. You can pick them up there, keep it in your craft room, and use it. Even if you have, like, you know, strings and things like on your desk, you know, go ahead and run it over your desk. This needs to be changed, but roll it over your desk and pick up all your little threads and whatnot, you know, and then peel it off when you need a new one. All right, let me bring my other tooth over. Okay, so this looks good. Pretty good. All right, I'm going to put the hoop back in. Let me bring you back on over. So now all we're going to be doing now is the satin stitch. And again, I want to be close to this because I want to keep an eye. I don't want it to get caught on the pocket and all that sort of stuff. So let's go to it. Now this is going to be 11 minutes, so we're going to have time to chat, but I also have to keep an eye on it. All right, so now it's going to do a zigzag all around, and I am keeping my button near the green, keeping my finger near the green button in case I have to stop it. I think I'll be good. I'll be good. So it's going to do this zigzaggy kind of stitch. That's when you could kind of tell if you want to go back and trim anything else. But the satin stitch is so nice and wide, even if you know, weren't perfectly cutting it. And I could see a spot like right over here, right there. Oops. I hear my dog. She's like breathing so heavy. Oh, don't cut the stabilizer. Okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm starting to cut the stabilizer. I'm just going to let it go. So anyhow, what was I saying? I was talking about our air quality is really bad. Up in Canada, they're having severe fires in their woodlands. And I mean severe. I still need to cut that. Okay, let it go around a little bit. And then I'm going to try to see if I can cut that again. So all the smoke from those I cut that again. From those wildfires is traveling down the I'm going to leave it. Down the northeast area. So it's like New York, Pennsylvania, up above, and I don't know, for the Connecticut, Massachusetts. I'm not sure where all it's going. But even as far as Washington, D.C. was experiencing this poor quality, which if you haven't been watching the news, you don't know about it. I mean, I would think most people between... I'm going to stop this and I'm going to hold the button because it's going to go over that lump there. Anyone on social media or anywhere like that, I mean, you're all going to know about it. All right, I think I'm good. Okay, so now it's going to do the satin stitch. So they're advising people to stay indoors. I'll tell you, yesterday, it was like the apocalypse. You know, it was so dark. The sun couldn't even make it through the thick, and it almost looks like fog. But the smell, that's why they're telling everybody to stay indoors. Even today, they're telling. Now, I could see a little bit of clouds and blue sky, a little bit. Almost like, when you're going to get like a storm, how the sky kind of looks bluish and a little bit of cloud cover. It kind of looks like that. I'm keeping my finger near the green button again, just to make sure. I'm going to hold this down, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to hold this down, but still keep the green button, my thumb near the green button, just in case. So anyhow, it has reached Maryland. Now they were saying that the wind direction was supposed to change. I'm going to hold this down because I'm coming near that pocket area, just to be safe, so that the bottom of my hoop here, the bottom of the needle thingy, and that is technical terminology, doesn't get caught on there. So yeah. But, today they're still saying, because I call her Lady in the Box, Alexa, because if I say her name, she's going to come alive. Although I think those things, Lady in the Box, I think they listen to you all the time. I don't know. I think it's like a big brother thing. Comment down below. Let me know. Do you think that those things are always listening? Because, well, anyhow, I think I'll end my story with the air quality. So if you're in any of those areas, please be careful. All of those up north, all the Canadians, my Canadian friends, anyone affected by this, prayers are going out that you get rain and it calms down all these fires. Sending prayers your way. Please, everyone, say an extra prayer for those, because I know some homes are being affected now. They're just going up like matchsticks. It's terrible, terrible. So anyhow, and it's not just Canada, FYI. It's all over the country, because the weather, Mother Nature has not been taking her happy pills. She has not been sending us any rain. We are so dry here in northeastern Pennsylvania that I'm afraid that, although we don't see the sun now because of the overcast of the haze from the smoke, but I'm even afraid if the sun's going to hit a lot of that dryness, like my grass is like straw, that it's going to create brush fires in our area, and that's not good. That's not good. Now, this is still bothering me here. I'm going to cut the thread, and I'm going to take this out of the hoop and see if I can't trim that a little bit more, because, just not going to be happy. Let me bring it up to my face. Although no, it doesn't look too bad. The a lot of that is the stitching. No, it don't look too bad. Had to come a little bit up closer. So anyhow, back to my my story. I think social media is in on it as far as the lady in the box. Because now tell me, how many of you can relate to this? And I know this has nothing to do with stitching, but it's just chit chat because we got 11 minutes to do the final. It's the final countdown. How many of you are convinced that those devices, even your phone, anything electronic, is always listening? Because how many, now I know when my daughter was pregnant, you know, we talked a lot of baby stuff. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't type anything on social media about it, but all of a sudden, in my feed comes advertisement for baby stuff. Same thing with sewing and all that. It comes up in my feed, and I'm like, I didn't click on, you know, and it, I mean, sewing, okay, maybe I did click on something, but I think YouTube, all social media with Facebook and all those kinds of things, I think they're all in on it. I think somehow they're always listening with the lady in the box, and she's sending them information about, hey, they're interested in this because they're talking about it. Even private conversations, you know, between myself and a friend where, you know, I'm not releasing any of that information, and all of a sudden something comes up about it. I don't know. I'm a little suspicious about that. I'm sure other people have noticed it as well. Even with the Zon, you know, the Amazon, stuff will come up about, like, for instance, when we were talking baby stuff would come up, you know, suggested for you. YouTube comes up, suggested for you. I mean, I appreciate their suggestions because a lot of times I take advantage of their suggestions because it's a good suggestion. But sometimes I'm like, I don't remember asking their opinion or their suggestions. But anyhow, I'm going to peel this off while I'm just sitting here and keep one eye on the, got two eyes now. Keep one eye on the, looking for the start of this. One eye on the hoop and one eye on the rolly thing. Oh my gosh, this is like torture. How do you get these things off? There we go. Oh, I'm all at an angle. Kind of like the plastic wrap. You know what I'm saying? You go to pull the plastic wrap, and part of it stays and part of it comes. The toilet roll, same thing. Same thing. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm going to put it here on my desk and just be happy. Okay, so we're almost done with the satin stitch, and then it's going to do that decorative edge stitch, which I love. So Creative Kiwi, if by some chance you're watching my video, maybe you were talking about Stitchin with Sue, and it came up in your feed, I love that decorative edge stitch that you do. My goodness, it just finishes off the project like I'm a professional. Which of course I am. No, I'm just teasing. Now this is going to do a little something weird. It's going to come down where that little hoop is. It's going to come down in there and do some satin stitching. I'm keeping my finger on the green button again. And I was thinking, where's it going? It's going off kilter. No, it does a little stitch action on top of the tooth. Creative. I mean, I would have just done the edge and you're done, but nope. Do a little bit that goes in. Now you might be wondering, Sue, why are you doing a tooth fairy? Not really a pillow, tooth fairy things. Well, my son's girlfriend works for a company that deals with dental. And again, there was a suggestion that came up. I might be interested in this. So I'm like, oh yeah, she'd get a kick out of that, you know, or your grandkids, or if you're doing now here's where it's going to do that. You're thinking, where is it going? It's going to go down and put that little bit of a decorative stitch in the tooth area. But, so don't worry about that. That's supposed to be there. Uh-oh. I wonder if my bobbin's getting low. Certainly uses a lot to stitch. I am using a gray thread. Here goes the whoop-de-doo, folks. I call it whoop-de-doo. I'm going to slow it down now because it's, you know, while it gets past that area, I think I'm going to be good now. All right. Here comes the pocket area. You want to be careful it doesn't get caught on that. Although there's so much stitching there, it just glides right over that. I think we're good. Just keep an eye on it. To never, ever leave your machine when it is stitching, because that's when things happen. I mean, I know some people set up like almost like a baby monitor, or you could set up a camera where you can, you know, run downstairs, maybe make yourself a sandwich and think that you're watching it. Nothing can happen. Nope. Do not trust it, because it's almost like there's a little person in there that says, hey, she stepped away. Now's the time to zhoosh up her design. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. If anything, stop the machine and go do what you got to do, and then come back and just hit that green button. If you have a brother machine, you have a red and green button. Stop it. Never stick your fingers in the hoop. If there's something you got to grab, like a little thread that you think, oh, I just want to grab that little thread, don't do it. Ask me how I know. It is a very painful experience. And can I just show you this? Look at how cute this is. Finished sewing. With a smiley. I love smiley faces. When the whole emoji thing came out, I was like, I love this. Okay, so here we go. Close your eyes. Let me check the back. Oh, thank you. Thank you, big stitch person in the sky, because it came out perfect. Okay, let me flip you back over here and show you what you're going to do now. Let me grab a drink first. Okay. So before I take it out of the hoop, I'm going to go along and see, are there any thread marks that need to be trimmed? Here's one here. I mean, you could do this afterwards if you want. Sometimes it's just easier. There's really no big long ones. This one is so short. I think it'll be easier later. So from a viewer, I had a suggestion, and her suggestion was, I'm going to take the tape off of here. Her suggestion was, don't cut around this and then have to use your water brush. Do I have tape there too? If I do, it's stuck here in the edge. It just blends in because it's white. There we go. You see any over here? Okay, so she said, don't bother cutting it out. She said, just use your water brush and go around and it'll just fall out. So that's what I've been doing, and I forget who it was, but you know who you are. It's a fabulous idea. So this is just an old cloth. I mean, I get them real cheap on Amazon. I keep it up here for stamping and that, but I want to put it underneath because I don't want to end up having my whole desk all sticky. Okay, so I'm going to pull my water brush. I have a brand new one here that I just filled with water. I'm going to squeeze this, and I'm telling you, this is like a godsend. And I'm just going to squeeze. Now, don't forget, add water, and then this is going to pop right out. Don't forget, I have 2 layers of water-soluble stabilizer. So you might be thinking, wow, that's not really working. There's 2 layers of it. Oop, see that? Look at it. It just falls out. So to my viewer who made that suggestion, you are amazing. Well, you all are amazing. I'm just going to say, you're all amazing. And then all you're going to do is you're going to use, I'm squeezing the water brush so water's coming out. You could see it's getting wet. I think you could see. and this just dissolves and disappears. Now, when I was doing, ooh, look at that, just like popped right through. When I was doing those sunflower earrings, and I did this to take the sunflower earring out, the sunflower earrings were like up here, but there was this whole other area of stabilizer. So I was going to make another one, and I thought, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. And I wish I saved it. I didn't. But what happened was, after it dried, and maybe a day or two later when I came back in my craft room, it was still in the hoop. And you know, all this got hard. So I probably could have, I don't think I saved it, but I probably could have used the rest of the water soluble stabilizer, because it was still in the hoop. And I gotta squeeze this a little more. I think I'm gonna need more water. It was still in the hoop, and all of this around the outside, of course this one you wouldn't do that to, but all of it around the outside ended up being hard like a rock. So it would be stable. I wouldn't put over it, but if you had a whole section down the bottom, I think you get what I mean. I think you understand it. Sometimes I don't explain things the best. I mean, okay, I think I'm gonna make it. Yes, I am. So now what you could do is just go around the edge once it came out. So if you find any little, you know, floofy ones, you could just go and do that. Sometimes, you know, it's some thread that needs to be trimmed. Now let me get my big scissors. I know this is like worrisome, sew with big scissors. But there's a couple threads, so now you can go ahead and get them. That. There's a couple down here. They look like little whiskers on my tooth. Oh, here it is. Kind of went into hiding for a moment. All right. So you see the mess that it makes. So you want to put something underneath, and then it leaves a little bit of a sticky residue because, you know, it's kind of like melting it with water. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of my hoop because there's nothing usable here. And I'm going to put it right in the trash before I get it all over everything. There we go. All right. So let's take a look. So here we are. Here's our pocket where you can put in, you know, your $20 bills for the tooth fairy. And here's another one. This one is a different fabric. It has a little design to it, but it doesn't matter. They both look fabulous. Little hanger on there. If you want to put the hanger long enough to go over a doorknob, you can do that. If you don't want the hanger at all, you can do that. If you want to make this into a pillow, and instead of making the pocket, just put over the top and, you know, leave a little bit open on the side, you know, you figure it out. You know how to do all that. So there we go. There is our tooth fairy pockets. We'll call them that. Tooth fairy pockets. Free design. Did I mention that? Did I mention it's a free design? It's a free design from Creative Kiwi. Link will be down below in the discussion. And I've had people say, I want to subscribe, but how do I do that? Well, it's elongated and rounded. And it's a black box. It'll be right underneath the title. And it says subscribe with white letters. Click on that. When you click on that, you'll see a couple bells show up. If you click the top bell, that says all. That means you subscribe to the channel and you want all notifications. So what does that mean? That means that whenever I upload a video, you'll get a message about it. So you won't miss anything. You won't miss giveaways or anything like that I offer. And also, it doesn't cost anything. The one woman, she said, well, is this something I have to pay for? Absolutely not. Everything is free here. The other thing is, and let me look where it's at. Underneath that, it'll say show more. Show more. There's a description. Show more. Because it's only going to show a couple lines. It says show more. Click on that. That will open up the whole area of all the information I have provided for you for the project. If you have any questions on that, reach out, let me know. But sometimes it's the obvious things that I think everyone knows and they kind of don't. So yeah, that's how you do all that. And it's absolutely free to subscribe. I don't have any channels that, well, I have one channel. I don't have a channel that you have to subscribe. I know I've brought that up before in the past about doing like a special group, but I have a Facebook page, Stitchin with Sue on Facebook. Come over and join. You will be able to get notices of upcoming events by other companies. You also get where there's free designs. I try to link things on there. Other people will post their projects. You're free to do that. If I see something that is, not so nice, it will be deleted. Okay, keep that in mind. But anyhow, we don't really have those issues over there at Stitchin with Sue. But these are really cute. So go grab your design and go stitch some out. And be creative. Let me know, what you've done. Post your pictures over there on Stitchin with Sue. We all want to see them. On that note, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to spend a little bit with me. I truly do appreciate it. And I want to not forget to copy, share. You could copy it and share it. You could subscribe, which is a big thing. You can like, where you hit the thumbs up. And you can leave a comment. And I love hearing from everyone. Again, if your comment is not appropriate, it will be deleted. If it's negativity, it will be deleted, because we are positive here. We don't want negative things. And I know everyone has their opinion, but it's my channel and I could decide what is a negative opinion. Like someone blasting someone else for their video or their sound or their I can't see, or you know what I mean. So thanks everyone so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please be safe out there. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye for now.